Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Booth Podcast, episode 33.
Yeah,
33.
Long way.
For those of you that are new here from either TikTok or Instagram, because we've been getting quite a few of you guys now coming into our YouTube channel. We're your hosts, Dom and
Ken.
and this is the podcast where we talk about life, love, and the deeper things you don't talk about with anyone else. We do have a special guest with us, Raphael. You want to introduce yourself, sir?
Thank you so much, Dom, Ken,
Anytime,
for bringing me here in your podcast. What's good, everyone? I'm Raphael, and I am the founder and the creative director of Vibeant. It's an online magazine that's bridging global cultures in music, lifestyle, and crypto.
Oh.
And
Sorry.
I'm also one of the people behind Philcan Music. I'm one of the people who's helping push this Philcan music movement. Our goal is to unite everyone who's creating music in Canada for global domination.
Sheesh, yes,
Dang, bro.
I remember we met Ralph at the
The creative
creative event, and like instantly I remember you came up to me like oh, what are you doing? I told you about my podcast, and then we completely didn't even I didn't even ask you. It wasn't until we went into the studio that I asked you, and I was like, oh wow, like this is like a
dude.
Because when me and Ken talk about what we do, we wanted to increase representation as well. You know, have people feel that same thing.
Because representation in general is like really important to us.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
I really think that everyone or every Filipino kid growing up, especially outside of the mainland here in the diaspora, to have someone that they can look up to and say, that, hey man, this guy's doing this. I think I should be able to do it too.
Yeah. Is that why you created Vibeant? Or can you tell us what Vibeant is first?
All right. So Vibeant is pretty much it's an online platform. It's now an app. I started it as an online magazine. My goal for that is to be able to meet these creatives all over Canada and be able to bring them into this platform. And not only that, also their audience and people that look up to them and see this platform like, oh my God, there are these people who's doing this. There's people who's making this music. There's people who's doing this to be able to
achieve their dreams
yeah.
kind of like creating like this community of people that kind of just like, oh, if people that look like this can do it, like you can do too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So pretty much what inspired me to create Vibeant is during my trip in Taiwan in 2018, I was browsing YouTube, and YouTube suggested the song by Southeast Cartel. If you haven't listened to Southeast Cartel, I recommend that you listen to their Black Sheep album.
Yeah.
So I listened to one of their songs called Gusto Ko Lahat. And that triggered this whole thing for me. When I listened to that, it's like, oh my God, there are these people who's doing this here in Toronto. I gotta find them.
Oh, they were in Toronto making music.
Yeah, they're in Toronto.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's like kind of rare. I don't see too well. I know a couple of like my friends that make music, but in general, like I don't hear too much about like Filipino like musicians in general.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think that's because like they don't know how to like kind of market themselves?
So what I think is that could be it. When I came to Canada in 2009, I realized that there were no Filipinos who was doing music, doing awesome music, and that or doing anything creative that I know of.
Yeah.
At the time. I only hear about people. Oh, he's making music.
Yeah.
But that's it. And whenever someone makes music or anything creative, their mindset was I have to have an audience back home.
Yeah.
But then there's so many Filipinos here in Toronto alone. There's 1 million people. Then why don't they capture the audience that's already in their backyard?
Yeah, I think that's just because like, for me, whenever I mentioned like, oh, there's this Filipino guy making music, like I remember people like AJ Raphael were making music, and
that was a
like,
golden time.
you know, and I'll tell my dad like, you know, this guy's making music and he's Filipino, and it's just like, well, like he's not famous or anything, right? Like it's not like it's gonna go anywhere, which is funny because like now AJ Raphael is like, you know, this big like musician in LA for us as Filipinos in our generation. So, you know, even if like I feel like even if there aren't a lot of representation towards like, you know, whether it's a Filipino actress in Toronto or a Filipino like whatever it is, right? Like even musician, like as long as like, what Ralph does is like he just pushes it for people to see and like get inspired by it, which is like freaking dope, man. Because me and Ken, like for like how many years now, we're just looking for people like that look like us that have done
not
it.
even that, but like it's hard to like find like other Asians like doing like other things beyond like stereotypical stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like ever since then or ever since now, like social media and just in general, a lot of Asians have been exploring like their interests and like breaking through the barriers.
Yeah.
You know, and that's amazing, man. Like I see like people making clothes. Like I'm like one of them. I see people making pottery. Like one of our friend Michelle, she makes sweets like baked goods. Sorry, that's what it was. Yeah, man. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, and then as the social media grow and it reaches more and more people, and we realize that like man, there's not a lot of people who are actually being or that looks like us that's being represented in media. Previously, you have to. There's so many gatekeepers before.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Movies, you have to be in Hollywood. You have to be
Yeah,
this.
yes.
But now with social media, I can just
anyone, right?
Yeah,
Anyone
you
could be a
just have
star.
camera, and I'll be able to shoot, put it in a platform like YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or TikTok, and people will be able to see it. Like millions of people have the potential to see it, and so those gatekeepers are no longer there.
You know, my main gatekeeper is my parents.
You're not wrong though. You're not wrong.
Yeah, from the get, it's like, no, you're gonna be this. You're gonna be a doctor or whatever, nurse.
Yeah. When I was in high school, I thought I was gonna be a lawyer and then eventually become a senator.
Wow.
That was my dream.
Were you gonna do boxing too?
Hopefully not. But so when I was young, I was really into. I think I was going to be a lawyer when I was in high school. I thought I was all set in doing that. And one day I'm going to be a senator. Then when I went to college in my first year of college, then I realized like, man, law is not for me.
Oh, I had that same thing. Because we had a high school class for law every morning. All I did was fall asleep.
Yeah.
My teacher's desk was right next to me. I didn't care.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew. I'm like, oh man, this is not it.
And then I slowly realized from there that I'm getting more drawn into people who are making music,
like the creative side of things.
Yeah.
People who are doing theater, people who are doing different kinds of art disciplines, and then that's when I realized, man, I think I should do this then rather than pursuing this, and that's how I started to not think about going to that law school.
Oh man, I think I would have. Oh my god, because I tried applying for university at one point. So anyone that's applying, like, make your deadlines. Number one, I didn't make my deadline, and I understood. I was like, why didn't I hand it in on time, my application? And it was because I was applying for something I didn't want to do.
Yeah,
you know,
What were you applying for again?
I was applying for like, because my grades weren't that good, I was applying for like, you know, something simple like security. Because security becomes like police foundations.
Okay, yeah.
Right, and then I didn't want to.
yeah.
And it was the only one I got accepted into. I only got accepted into that. It was like Sheridan. I got accepted to Sheridan College for police foundations, but I hid it. I hid that acceptance letter. I didn't want to see it.
Oh, you did the opposite.
I hid it away. I said, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And then I just took a gap year, and I was like, I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing is like something I want to do. Yeah. Because when you're forced to do things you don't want to do, you just get lazy.
Yeah, it's just so hard to like get off from your bed.
Yeah.
Or pick up the book.
Yeah.
Or just do something related to it if you're forced to do it.
It's different when you're passionate, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, even if it's like I don't eat or drink any like coffee or whatever, I can do it because the drive is like
I could relate to
me.
that.
Yeah. Like, I was doing the film. I told you I was shooting a film, right? And I'm doing like, not only like am I helping my crew, I was like acting and performing stunts, right? And there was at one point where like I didn't eat anything. I didn't drink anything. And I was like, no, we have to keep moving. We have to keep moving. Like, and that was that switch. I didn't have, you know, it was like Mamba mentality, you know, like, I would screw everything else. Like, I'm focused right now. Nothing's going to stop me from that, you know?
So do you think that gap year is important?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
So many different views.
There are people that feel like they need to get forced into a subject, like whatever it is, like, oh, I need to do, you know, get into the medical field ASAP. Or like they just feel so pressured to have to do something because they get FOMO, you know, fear of missing out. And it's like, no, screw that. You need time to like really reflect on like, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? You know, we were just doing a podcast about feeling lost. Right. And the important part about being lost is like finding the path again. And you can't find the path if you just drift into whatever it is you feel like is necessary. You know, there's a lot of people that like, oh, they just take nursing and then they go for 4 years, another 4 years of medical school. And then after that, they're like, oh, I don't want to do this. And then they either have to quit after 8 years of wasted years or whatever.
That's scary.
Bro, that was like me in my first year of university because like I took industrial design, right? To become like a Nike shoe designer. I felt like, yo, this is my shit. This is what I want to do. Yo, you're like half a year in, I was like, no, bro, I don't like it was passion, but then it became to work and I didn't like it anymore. So I'm like, yo, and then my teacher, I don't know if I said it on the podcast yet.
You have.
Okay, then
just bring it up again.
Yeah, okay, ahead. That's what my teacher told me. Like, he was like over the desk and he looked at me because I had a project due, right? There's 2 portions to the project. I failed to deliver one of them, right? And I told him, I don't have my poster for my prototype. Oh, that's fine. You don't belong in OCAD anyways.
What?
Yeah, dude.
He said he doesn't belong at this school.
So then he left, right? I looked to my classmate right beside me, like, did you hear that? She's like, yeah. I'm like, what did he say? And I had to like rehear it. Like, you said you don't belong in OCAD. I'm like, bet. Surprisingly, I was thankful for that.
Yeah.
Because it got me to like marketing, which was actually what I really wanted to do. And yeah, like, dude, now I'm like better, I'm like happier. Like, this is what I want to learn, and I'm applying the techniques I have right now into the podcast and everything, right? And like, I guess you can say I felt lost during that time, but now I'm like, quote unquote, found.
Yeah.
But no, but along with that, like, there's like a lot of struggles that came with it, like trying to pursue what I wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
But like with you, like, I know you started Vibeant, like creative magazine stuff like that. What were some of the struggles you experienced, like outside the magazine, like mentally, emotionally, or like just with the magazine itself?
There's a lot actually, especially last year. Last year was the only time that I realized how health is so important for me. And that's when I also realized that there's 3 parts of health, which is your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual health. And spiritual, we're not talking about religion here. It's how you're connected to yourself. Because, you know, I don't know about both of you, but I do self-talks.
So self what?
Self-talk.
Oh, like you can you explain?
Like what I mean by that is I kind of reflect on what's going on with my life.
Oh, okay.
And then I talk myself into, hey, I think you're doing really good on this, and I think there's some parts of you that needs improvement, and I think you should set aside some time to work on this.
Yeah,
I do that. I don't know if you guys do
that's
that.
that's definitely super important because you need to take note of your progress and where you're at. And like a lot of times, like, because we don't hear from other people like, oh, you're doing great. You know, you need to tell yourself that because no one else is your cheerleader.
Well, not even that, but some people, we don't see ourselves highly as they do. You know what I mean? So it's hard to hear like that compliment or whatever. I'm like, sometimes I don't see that. Like, I have a problem with that, right? Like, Dom will try to compliment me, like, no, don't say that, bro. Don't say that. You know, but it's like, just like, I don't see myself as highly enough. Right?
Like so you're like journaling and like positive affirmations. Yeah, I feel like you need that because especially like nowadays, like everyone's just like saying bad things about themselves. Not a lot of people are like looking in the mirror like, damn, you look good today. You know what I mean? Like it's little things like that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's really important, being able to like be good to yourself too, not just to other people. And I think that's really important. I want to talk about you asked about the magazine, the struggles of it, right? I had this idea floating around for a long time. I had this when I began working at Centennial College. I had this idea and I wanted to do something that I would bring the Filipino-Canadian community together, being able to see, but I wasn't able to execute it. for a long time. I think it took me 4 years before I was able to execute Vibeant. And not until pandemic. A pandemic was actually was the greatest opportunity for me to be able to do it.
So like your turning point.
Yeah. So I didn't have to go to work, 'cause I've been working from home then, and I don't have anywhere to go that time. And so that's the time that I was able to really sit down and start working on it. And that's when I started reaching out to the music community, because that was 2018 when I heard Southeast Cartel. That was and this is 2020. That was 2 years.
Yeah.
I started reaching out to the music community, sending them message that I want to do this magazine, interview them. And the response has been awesome. And we're now going to do this, the second Philcan.
I feel like that was like us too. Yeah. Like we were just like, oh man, what do we, because we had a podcast before this one, which was like, we called it the Gray Space Podcast, right? And that was just like being posted on my YouTube channel. It wasn't like anything serious.
Yeah. Right.
Not like the way we execute now. And we didn't start the booth until pandemic.
Like last year, 2021.
No, 2020.
Yeah. Was it?
October 2020.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, not until October 2020 did we take it seriously.
Yeah.
Right? But then, like, you know, here and there, I feel like the important part was starting.
Yeah.
And, like, then going on and, like, learning how to get better at it.
Yeah.
Because some people don't even, like, dip their toes into what they want. They're too scared. You know?
Not even that. They like, plan a lot. Like, trying to make this, like, perfect. Right? Like, trying to avoid the risk, like, the mistakes, the failures. I'm like, that's not how it goes, though. Like for us, Gray Space, we started that knowing nothing, right? And we kind of like, I wouldn't say we failed, but we learned a lot.
Yeah.
And we started the booth and we got better. We took many breaks, but like through that, we were able to like create more lessons and like implement that to like where we are now.
Yeah. I met a lot of talented people, but for some reason, they don't want to begin the idea that they have in mind because of what people will think about them, what people would tell them.
I know.
They just think that they're not that good, even though, man, they're so
super
extremely talented.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people like that, and they just let their dreams die out. And hopefully
it's all this, like, it's because, like, I don't know why, but we have this, like, voice in our head, whether it was, like, a parent or a teacher. Like, I remember thinking, like, oh, I'm never going to be good enough because I've heard people tell me that.
Yeah.
And it's, like, escaping that and, like, hearing your own self, like, because then I heard Ken tell me, like, dude, you're great. Like, you're talented. Just do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like changing the tone now. It's like, okay, I'm going to listen to that voice. Because if that voice believes in me, well, then what's possible?
Yeah, 100%.
I would say like a lot of the times too, people fail to like achieve their dreams because of their parents, right? Like, because coming from like, you know, Asian households, I'm not sure I'm pretty sure some of you guys have experienced it, where you tell them you want to do certain things, right? But like, no, take this route. Like, I'll go the stereotypical way, you know, like be a nurse, be an engineer, like something like a good, high paying, safe job, right? I understand now why they say that, you know, because maybe they came from like Philippines or whatever, and it was harder for them, and they didn't get the opportunity like we do.
Yeah.
Right. But now it's like it's a whole different thing, and some people don't understand. So like we want to pursue the podcast, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard. It was hard to understand, I guess, at the first, because it's like, is it gonna make money or whatsoever? But you know, in the future, only the future can tell unless you start doing it.
Can I tell the story of my cousin? Because
go ahead, man,
really similar. Something happened. When he was in high school, he was really into the game called League of Legends.
Oh, yeah.
League of
Legends. I played that.
So he spent a lot of his high school time playing League of Legends, and during that time, he knows that he wants to be an esports athlete.
Well, when you say time, like what year roughly?
It's probably 2 years or 3 years before graduation from high school.
Oh.
And he spent a lot of time playing it with the goal of becoming an esports athlete. And, you know, the most common response from parents, from our family is, you can't do anything with that.
Yeah.
But guess what? He's now a coach of, I forgot the name of his team, but he's now coaching in LA.
Shut up. That's crazy.
He's coaching an esports team in LA.
That's crazy.
Bro, and he's one of the most well-known people in League of Legends.
You know, at one
Wow.
point, Ken was gonna join Phase, and I was gonna be an optic. No, but like our dreams, like for I had dreams of like being a Call of Duty player.
Yeah.
No. Say, you know what it is? They don't see the vision.
Yeah.
They don't see the
They don't
vision.
see the vision. And that's why it's really important that we hold on to our vision.
Mm-hmm.
It might evolve as you age,
Yeah.
but the vision will always be there.
There's so many people that just doubt because like it stems from insecurity from them.
Yeah.
You know, like there are people that like they tried something or they're too scared to. That's why they make you scared.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's why you never go out and try. Like I remember when I was like writing for my film and pitching it, I was already scared. And then when I would ask people, it's like, oh, I don't know if Dom can do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, yo, shut up. Like, let me find out.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me how it's gonna turn out.
Yeah.
You know, what I hate is like, I hate how, you know, when a baby is just learning how to walk, doesn't matter how many times the baby tries to walk and falls down, you're always gonna keep encouraging it.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden we get to our adult years, people fall, they say, stay there. Don't try again.
Yeah. Which is
You
crazy.
know?
Yo, bring it back to your vision, right? I know, Vibeant wasn't always the case. So like, what was it before, right? Like, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I think I mentioned I wanted to be an attorney and a senator, and then it turned out to before I left Philippines, I was doing music production. So I was bringing in bands to do a show in one night.
Oh, so like an event promoter type of like
kinda,
organizer,
kind of like that. And I really enjoyed that, and I felt really passionate about doing that. And during that time, websites wasn't a thing in the Philippines, but we were already doing websites. We were building it through Flash. It's not even HTML back then. It's all Flash websites. And I kind of enjoyed that. And doing that music promotion and all of that have brought me to think about, I should learn how to, not really learn how to write code and that. I just want to be able to create a platform that will be able to be enjoyed by people, look cool to me, that I enjoy. And that ultimately lead me to studying software engineering.
Dang, bro.
And I'm still doing it, and everything that I do is the core. I use everything that I learned from my software engineering school here.
Yeah, I'm just curious about this part because you say you moved to Canada from Philippines, right?
Yeah.
I know some people struggle like moving to a new country. So like, because we were you born in Canada?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So like we don't really know the struggle as much as like others. Right? Can you like tell us more about that?
Okay. So the very first problem that I realized when I first came here is the disconnect between my cousins.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I couldn't relate to them in the beginning, so I really hated being.
Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine this, you guys.
Yeah.
You're 20s now.
Yeah.
And I'll uproot you here in Canada, and I'll move you somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Like, man, I had my friends there. I have things that I really enjoy there.
Yeah.
And then I was taken away from there and then brought here. Now I have to restart everything. I don't know anyone. I'm not even close to the people that are around me. During that time when I arrived, I'm close to my cousins. Hi cousins.
That must have been scary. It's like it's not as like scary as moving schools. You're moving a complete country. Your whole life is changed.
Yeah, and I have to learn the culture here. I have to learn how to enjoy the stuff that's in here. Even though, if you think about it, being taken from the Philippines to Canada is such a blessing on its own.
Yeah.
But I wasn't able to appreciate that right away.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's everyone at start too.
Yeah, it took me at least I'd say 3 to 5 years before I was able to say like, man, Toronto, I fell in love with you.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm born here, and because of the things that I enjoy now and all of that,
The culture.
but definitely the hardest part of moving from the Philippines to Canada was acclimating to a lot of things, and that was really hard. And I think it's really going to be really tough to a lot of immigrants, and that's also one of the reasons why I created this online magazine, Vibeant, is because of that. When I came here, I couldn't relate to anyone. I was looking for something that I will be able to relate to. So I wanted to create this for the next one who will come here.
Yeah.
We'll be searching for that.
That's exactly like what I told Kenneth. I was like, when we talk on this podcast, it's not just for the 20-year-olds that watch us.
Yeah.
It's for like the 10-year-old kid at home that doesn't like, he can't find his identity.
Yeah.
Because he's struggling to like understand like what it means to be like a person of color.
Yeah.
With like, you know, all this in things in the Western world.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a much different like a much different place now, you know, and like navigating them through life's biggest struggles like that, you know. And I definitely understand like where you're coming from. It's like not just like you move from place to place, you like have to say goodbye to your old identity and find a new one.
Yeah. And not only that, so after I realized all of that, I also noticed the disconnect between those that were born here and those that were just coming here. And so I wanted to bring them together through this platform so that each and everyone would understand each other. No more calling bacon, no more calling.
Oh, yeah, bacon. Oh, yeah, you're right. Completely forgot about that phrase.
Yeah.
Bacon.
Bacon,
I think when they say you're bacon, it means that you're someone who were brought up here.
I think bacon means like, isn't it like Canadian bacon or something? I don't know.
Canadian bacon.
Yeah,
Pretty
like,
much you're Canadian.
Yeah, I've heard that term. I've heard that term.
So yeah,
you've unlocked an old memory.
Dude, I didn't even know that was a term.
no more fob calling, no more bacon calling. I just want us to all be Filipino.
Yeah, for sure. Man.
Or Filipinos in Canada if you haven't acclimated to the Canadian yet.
Yeah, I never understood that. Like why there was that disconnect. Like I remember I would play basketball, you know, at like where other Filipinos were playing, right? But because like they saw my skin tone and like they heard my English, like, oh, English speaking, oh no, I'm gonna get nosebleed from this one, and like they just like, and they would bully me. Like they played bully ball, like the way they play basketball, man.
Oh, it's different. It's different.
It's
way more aggressive, man.
Like I remember I would tell my dad, I'm like, oh my gosh, like these guys, they're playing basketball so rough. They're like, bro, they were born at the Philippines. What do you expect? You want to play with people that play dirty too.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like there is that like gap that you like. There's a learning curve there for sure.
No, it's like for me, I grew up I grew up in Canada, and like for me, I was like really disconnected from my culture, and it got to the point. It was so bad. It was like, yo, stop speaking Tagalog, Filipino, right? I'm like, it was so bad because I'm a kid. I was embarrassed by my own culture, which you should never be.
Never.
Trust me, you should never be. And I was embarrassed just because I'm like, yo, these people are weird. Like, why are they doing all this, man? But then growing up more, right? I'm like, yo, I love my culture.
Yeah, and that's why the representation is so important. I'm sure during that time, you were getting fed things that
adobo, palabok, everything,
or ideas that you don't agree with.
Yeah,
or
100%,
or something against your culture, and that's why you kind of hated your culture.
Yeah,
I kind of I know because I have cousins too who couldn't relate to the culture, but then they're doing steps to what do you call that? To
reevaluate,
meet their culture, or we get to know their culture,
reconnect
with their culture.
Only part of my culture I loved was Manny Pacquiao. That was it.
Dude,
I just love Manny Pacquiao. It's you know, every time there's a Filipino party, even though like it was a Filipino party without Manny Pacquiao, I would not talk to my but Manny Pacquiao's on, we're all there, you know.
Manny Pacquiao is my #1 Filipino.
Yes, gonna miss that guy, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I miss the parties, man.
Yeah.
I know we talked about this in the podcast. I just miss it because dude, you're all connected. You hear all the titas, the titos, and everything. The kids, yo. I want to be a boxer to bring that back, man. I'll be dead ass, man.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. 8 division world titles.
Never done before.
Yeah.
Never done before, man. Manny is and now he's a senator. So
he's a presidential.
He's running. Yeah. What a crazy guy.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about your stuff, man. Because my #2 favorite Filipino is Luigi Villasenor.
Woo!
Man, this guy at 27 has accomplished so many things.
Dude, right. Do you know who he is?
I don't know who he is.
Okay. Luigi Villasenor, basically he owns a luxury streetwear brand called Rude, RHUDE, right? And he's Filipino, and he just came a long way because like you don't hear too many like Filipinos in general breaking through the fashion industry.
Yeah, especially high fashion.
So it's like really impressive to me.
And I know you're doing
Kenny clothes, yeah.
And do you want to talk about that? Like
Oh,
how you got into that?
Yes.
Okay. Oh wait. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Ken's clothes, man. I saw there was a model that wore his vest.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, wow. At first, it just looked like like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Like it looked like Ninja Turtles, bro. But then I saw it on the model. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like how I started it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it technically weighs back into like grade 8, grade 9, right? And in my school we had this thing called like Civvies Day. So and because we were uniform, you know Civvies Day?
No.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Anyway, so basically casual day. So on these days you get to pay like $2 to wear whatever you want.
$2.
No uniform. No uniform.
Yeah, no uniform. Sorry. And like this is so bad, like the fit. So this is how I wanted to get more into styling. So it was the Civvies Day one day. I put on a Filipino, the Filipino track jackets, Filipino flag. I had that. I put a vest. I put my sweatpants on. I'm like, yo, that was good fashion, man. Right. But then yeah, growing up into high school, that was never my first thought until grade 11. And so my friend Ian, he kind of got me more into streetwear and fashion and design. And so I started making my own stuff, and like so I'd put like wires in like pants, and like I stitched on like a Dollarama side patch like on the left side, and it was so ugly, but I had fun. And then it got to the point where I'm like, yo, I got more inspired by other artists and more fashion designers, and I'm like, I like their stuff. I just can't afford it because you see pieces like 2,000, 3,000, right? And I'm like, I can't afford that.
Yeah, I love wearing one-on-ones too.
Oh, dude, I can make you one.
Yeah.
I can make you one, man.
Yeah,
We can talk about that.
He's made a shoe, or he didn't make a shoe. He had a shoe and he put wires instead of the laces.
Yeah.
And it was like, for me, I was like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
Right. But my brother thought it was really cool. So there's like that split, right? People thought it was cool.
Yeah.
People thought it was, what are you doing? And he was on the bus one day, and some Toronto page took a picture of his shoes
Without me knowing, bro.
without him knowing. And they and they reposted like, what kind of broke man?
What? Dude, I messaged the guy like, yo, thank you for taking a picture, man.
And then you know what happens? Like a few weeks later, I see a fashion post of like they're put wires in their like shirts. And I sent it to Ken. I'm like, you did this first. What's going on? Now all of a sudden it's high
my
end.
ideas, man. But yeah, essentially I made it because I wanted to pick my own pieces that look good on me.
Yeah.
And, make it more affordable because I'm like, I can't afford that right now. I'm kind of broke. So I made my own pieces, and I doubted myself like constantly, man, because when you're making something out of the ordinary and that isn't like, different, not weird, but safe, you start doubting yourself and you're like, yo, I don't know if I can do this. So I'm like, yo, fuck it. I dropped a couple pieces like customs, and then people like bought them. Like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Like, and like, yo, I like this. I kind of want to, do this maybe full time.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, man. You already have someone you can look up to.
Yeah. Oh, Ruigi, man, if you're watching this, yo.
Yeah. Shout out to
I will
Luigi.
work with you. I will work for you.
I'll work with you too. We're all
down
here.
for it. Yeah.
And Dom too.
I'll take the videos.
Oh yeah, you'll be backup, man.
Yeah, I'll be
Behind the
backup.
scenes and everything, man.
Yeah, I remember when they reposted that. I just that just shows that whatever crazy idea that you have in mind, someone else freaking loves it.
Yeah.
That's why like we should just come out of our shell.
Yeah.
That's a Ninja Turtle
I
reference.
know, man.
We should come out of our shell and just like see
Come
what's
on.
possible, right? Even for me, like I couldn't name one Filipino filmmaker. If you ask any, like I couldn't name one. I couldn't name any like Filipino that's done like the action except for like Provinciano. Like there's no like,
Yeah.
there's no guy for that, right? So I just thought to myself like, why not? Let's see,
Yeah.
right? And Ken even always says, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
And you
yeah.
always doubt yourself whenever you feel unsure. But so just don't forget to look back on the things that you've done, at the steps that you already took. And that's going to be a really powerful reminder of you should not doubt yourself.
Yeah, have you ever heard
100%,
have you ever heard those videos where it's like, oh, you're starting to like lose yourself. Remember who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
Like remember who you are. Like I was doubting myself when I was like thinking of what am I gonna pitch, and then I remembered all the terms that I've had already. How many people said, you're gonna be great. You're gonna do great in this. So why am like if you don't do what your believers believe in you to do, you're letting them down.
Yes,
So
100%.
screw that. You know, that's just
I think especially if you already started to gain followers or people that think that whatever you're doing has value, you now hold a power to change people's lives, and you gotta have to just go with your instincts and all that, and just continue whatever you're doing.
definitely have like a responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, at that point, right? You know, great power comes great responsibility. You know, and like that's I think with the booth too. Like at this point now, I don't think we expected it to get this crazy.
Yeah.
Because TikTok just blew up a lot of our stuff,
man.
you know? And then all of a sudden, like now we have people like venting to us, you know, venting to us, whether it's our Instagram DMs or it's on TikTok in the comment section. They're like explaining their problems. You know, now we have that responsibility of addressing those problems because we wanted this.
Yeah.
We wanted to create an open space for people to be like, I'm dealing with this. How do you think I should, you know, fix my life or whatever?
Yeah.
That's the space that we want. And not just for like the normal people, just like even like like Raph's been doing is for the Filipinos that don't identify themselves with who they are.
So I think I've been pronouncing it wrong, but is it Vibeant?
It's actually a Vibeant. So the name came from vibe, which is energy, and ant. It's actually a reference to a Filipino value unique only to Filipinos, which is the bayanihan value. I don't know if you guys know what bayanihan means. It means it's coming together for your community.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes,
I thought of the Bahay Kubo, bro.
I do know.
Yes, bayanihan means is to come together for your community for one greater good.
Yeah,
And,
no, I do.
That was my shout out for Filipino in a way, not naming my stuff very Filipino.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like a subtle
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
wait. So what is in Vibeant so far?
So far, my goal was to bring the music together, meet more creative people who are doing certain things that are unique. Let's say, for example, I don't know if you tried Sanzo. Have you guys tried Sanzo?
No.
Sanzo, it's a sparkling water. It's created by a Filipino-American. He's half Filipino and half Italian, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Good genetics.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
Rocco is his name, and man, he's captured North America, if not Canada yet, at least America. He has a store in New York, and the flavors that he's been doing were all Asian: lychee, mango, calamansi.
Hey man, I want to try that now.
Yeah.
What?
Damn.
So so what's in there would be mostly stories of Filipinos and stories of what would Filipinos enjoy too. Like Filipinos here would enjoy too. So you'd see streetwear, sneakers, and different kind of lifestyles.
Yeah, I saw at one point you posted like about like Jollibee opening up. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like there's different stuff there for sure. I think any Filipino, like, you should definitely check it out because like I remember when I first met Raph, he searched it up and then he downloaded the app for me, and like all of a sudden I just started scrolling and just reading all these different articles, and it's definitely the place for Filipinos because then you could just like kind of like see what's going on in the culture.
Yeah.
Even if you're not Filipino, feel free to check it out. You might learn more about us.
I know you guys love us, you know, the non-Filipinos. I know you guys love our culture. You might as well hop on the bandwagon.
Yeah, go check it out. I'm trying to not make it to be only for Filipinos because I want to be able to bridge other cultures too. So you would see that I covered streetwear from Korea. And other cultures too. Streetwear from Manila. If you want to find out what's going on in Manila, and anyways, streetwear culture in Manila right now is booming. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what's happening in the streetwear scene there. I think there's a streetwear revolution that's happening that's similar to what happened in Japan in the 90s.
Really?
That birthed bathing ape.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to check out brands, I'd recommend that you check out Don't Blame the Kids. Weed Rule, many other things. You can go to the website, Vibeant.com, and there's a top 15 brands that you should follow.
I think we looked
so.
through that.
Yeah.
We did look through that.
Top 15 brands based in Manila that you should follow, and you would see things that they've been doing really good things there, and that there's like a whole streetwear revolution that's now intertwining with music and different kinds of art movement.
Oh, dude, that actually sounds so impressive.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a similarity of what happened back in Japan in the 90s. And so I think one would break out in the international scene.
Yeah.
And I already see one who's doing that, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with Don't Blame the Kids.
I feel like I've heard of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they've done collaborations with brands like Pokemon,
Oh, I'm gonna check them
that's
out,
Kenneth's
man.
favorite.
I'm gonna
That's
check
Kenneth's
them out.
favorite.
Bad Bats Maru, Hello Kitty, and many other different international brands, and they're kind of like starting to dominate Asia right now. So I think they're really, really
They out here.
awesome
They out
brands.
here.
One thing I'm curious about, because with the people you like write about, is there like an ongoing like pattern that you see within them, like about their dreams?
Mostly what I notice about them is they were just people who had an idea and they want to materialize it. And
Oh, that's a
to
nice
them, it's all about following their passion.
Yeah.
And most of them are usually connected to arts and what they think is really creative. I think those are the things that I think are similar to most of them. And grit, I think all of them have grit. 'Cause,
Grit.
it's not easy to be in streetwear scene, especially one that has so many things, so many competition. That's what I mean. In Manila right now, alone, or in the Philippines, I think there's thousands of brands now that are interacting. All of them are doing T-shirts. So you would see a few standouts that would branch out to doing a different kind of clothing, like hoodie that's a leather and that. Yeah,
I think Luigi did that too.
yeah, he did.
Yeah. I was like watching one of his stuff. But dude, that's actually crazy. I didn't know there were that many like streetwear brands or like things happening in like Philippines in general.
Yeah.
Right. Especially because like I don't willingly like search up like stuff like that. So I just see what I see on social media. I think it's great what you're doing in Vibeant, you know, bridging the connection together.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'd love to know more. Because representation does matter, and it's hard doing what you're doing when you don't see like people of your culture doing that.
Yeah.
Especially because we're not familiarized
Yeah.
too much. Like the only artists like I know right now are like the people on Showtime, like you know what I mean, like and people on ASAP. You know, I'm not really like too fond of like our culture back home, and I feel like I should, especially like because film there, I see a lot of like great like indie films being made, but like I never really like put in the time to like watch too much of them, unless you know there's a Danielle Padilla and Catherine Bernard going in there, you know. But yeah, no, it's great what you're doing. I remember like reading up on all of it, and I just like in our conversation when we were there at the event, I was just like, I'm so thankful. Like there's somebody, you know, like no one does what you do.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
For sure. And like because me and Ken have always like spoke about it, we've always like been like, oh man, we should do that. We should do that. And you're out here doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's super helpful for our culture for sure. And like having you here speak with us and just like, you know, because we are the same, like we're all the same. Like we all have the same type of like dreams and passions, but like no one else will put it into action like we do. No one knows the struggles of putting it into action either. There's a lot of people that like they're too scared to, and they don't know. Like they'll say, "Hey, you're lucky."
Yeah.
Like no,
I hate
it's
that.
not
I
lucky.
hate that
Such
word.
bull.
No,
They tell me you're lucky. You know what you have and with what you do. I'm like, you try to go through what I went through.
Yeah, they're trying to discredit the work that you've done.
Yeah.
Just because you've reached this point, and they think that you got lucky.
Yeah.
They didn't know that, man. When you were building this, I didn't sleep. On
Yes.
days.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, I would go on days that I would only have 2 hours, 3 hours to sleep just to be able to launch this.
And like to catch any like deadline that you need for like the project or whatever.
Yeah.
Like sacrificing so much time, energy. Yeah, not a lot of people will understand like the lengths that we have gone.
Yeah.
I was watching like Kenneth's story, and just like the time and effort it took for him to like do research and learn how to make his vest. Like it goes such a like there's so much more effort, and time that is being put that no one sees behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Which is why like for our podcast we've been trying to do like the process where it's like this docu-series of what goes on behind the scenes to make this podcast work. And no one, and I think we've gotten requested that they wanted to see like what is tough about being a creator, if I'm not wrong.
I think so. Yeah, actually, there's actually a lot of things, right? And not
there's a lot.
Like it's tough. Like even what you're doing, right? We've all experienced the same struggles, and it's always tough at the start because one, you're so insecure. Insecure. I don't know. I forgot the word, but it's like it's hard to create it when you have.
There's not enough reassurance. There's like it's almost
the word, man.
It's almost like
what it
is. It's like you know the people that do the trapeze.
Yeah.
It's like doing it without a safety net.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't trust yourself enough.
Yeah. So if you're insane for doing this.
Yeah. Oh my God. I remember like I was telling my mom I'm doing the podcast. She'll just laugh. She'll just laugh.
Oh,
and then all of a sudden I go, Mom, look. We have one TikTok that went crazy and like, oh, look at our followers. Like, and then she'll talk to her relatives back home. My son is famous. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, that was like my mom last week. Like, cause I just told my mom I had a podcast, right? And then the next thing I know, she's on the call with like my grandma. Like, hoy, yung anak mo, meron siyang podcast, man. That's how like I hear it, right? And I'm like, Mom, stop, man. And then she's telling all her relatives and all her friends and everything. I'm like, Mom, like, thank you, right? But I'm like, stop, man.
They'll doubt you, and then when they see you, they'll be shook, and then they'll go on to say, "Oh, I knew you."
Yeah.
All right, so for this portion, we're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna do overrated, underrated. The rules is pretty simple. Like, we'll say I'll tell you guys something, and you guys say if it's overrated or underrated, and just like explain briefly.
All right.
So the first on the list, adobo. I say underrated.
Underrated, man. Adobo has 100 and multiple ways to make it.
Bro,
I think I only say overrated only because I got it forced down my throat a lot. I ate it a lot growing up. You know those childhood foods. That's all.
I don't know, bro. Adobo. If you don't have adobo with potatoes, it's not adobo. That's my opinion. I'm just saying.
I gotta say, I tried a lot of adobos in my life. Many versions in the Philippines. We're a 7,000 island archipelago. Each island have different ways of cooking adobo. So I think it's underrated.
Okay. Maybe.
Yo, we gotta go then. All right, next one. Sinigang.
Overrated for me.
Overrated.
I've
had too many.
Actually, I'll say it's too sour, but it's still good.
It's still good.
But it's kind of getting really popular as top 3 soups in the world.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
I just read about that, and it's in the top 3 soups. Like, whoa! They even lining it up with Tom Yum soup of Thailand.
Oh, I don't like Tom Yum. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, next one. Oh, the infamous Longanisa. Underrated.
Oh, underrated.
I
Underrated.
Underrated. Oh my God.
And I don't know if you guys know. There's 2 types of longanisa, which is the hamonado and recado. Hamonado is the sweet, and recado is the one on the saltier side.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just that.
You're learning food from me,
dude. Yo, we gotta have you again, man. We gotta do a mukbang, man.
So we do have to have a mukbang.
I don't know if you tried it. You tried the sweet one, and if you tried the Ilocano one. Ilocano, you don't know that?
Yeah, wait. When they say Longanisa, I just eat whatever, man. They never said, oh, it's this version.
So yeah, the Pampanga one version is on the sweeter side, and the Ilocano one is on the garlicky, savory side. So if you haven't explored that, maybe you should go to a grocery next time and try it.
I'm down.
Okay.
All right. Next on the list. Pretty simple. Pancit. I think overrated.
I think it's properly rated.
Oh.
I don't know about like
pancit. Not a fan growing up.
I thought everyone loved it, man.
Yeah, I guess maybe overrated. I changed my opinion.
Okay, I say overrated just because like it's not a good substitute to rice. In my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
Like when you're at a party, they have pancit and rice. I'm like, I'll take rice over anything.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Me too.
I think there was at one point like I kept having it, but then I was like, This isn't it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I mean, the only time it tastes good is when you just put like calamansi or like lemon. That's it. Mhm.
And some people not cook it properly too.
Oh yeah,
Not everyone cook it really tasty. I'd say.
that's true. All right, next one. Darna.
I don't even know.
No.
Oh, you don't know Darna?
I don't know. Darna.
You know Darna, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, you can stay out of this one.
Darna.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you know. Let me show a picture. Go ahead.
I think Filipino superhero. It's
Oh,
underrated.
Okay, show me a picture first. Is that like Wonder Woman, like Filipino Wonder
I,
Woman?
mean, I guess you can say that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she was underrated. I thought her shows was sick back then.
I guess underrated because I never.
Yeah. I think what would make it overrated is it's been remade so many times,
Yeah.
and they didn't remade it properly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I'm gonna say on
That's
that
so
one.
true.
Is that the one? No, you know who I de las Alas is?
Yeah, I think she did one Darna.
Mhm.
She did Darna, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I watched that one. I watched
Yeah,
that
but
one.
there's so many versions of it now, and whenever they remake it, it's not always so good.
All right, new
It's
project
not-
coming
it's
in
not
Yeah.
made-
soon.
Yeah.
New project coming.
All right, the next one, tinola. Severely underrated.
Yeah, I think it's underrated too. I like that one, especially with chili leaves.
Oh, I'm gonna tell my mom to make tinola. I miss those. I miss those. What about you?
What about you, Dom?
I haven't.
What?
I haven't.
You haven't tried tinola, bro?
I'm so uncultured, guys.
Speaking, Dom doesn't try too many new foods.
I'm picky. I'm a
He
picky.
just
I'm a
started
picky
eating
guy.
vegetables.
Yeah, I just started eating. Okay, like two years ago, I started eating vegetables.
But yeah, well, let's go out one time, bro, and like we'll experience like. Do you know a lot of spots like in Toronto? Because we don't know too many Filipino spots.
I'd say you should try to go to Casa Manila.
I think I've been there. I've been to Sampaguita Valley.
I think I've been there.
The Bathurst and Wilson.
Yeah, I think they have good barbecue. I think Filipino barbecue is really good. It's something that you should try. It's not
Yes.
getting enough credit.
Oh, true.
Definitely
true.
isn't. It definitely isn't.
Yeah.
That's why you go taste of Manila.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, next one. ABS CBN.
Overrated.
It's overrated. Oh, for sure, overrated. I can't lie.
I grew up on that, so I say underrated.
You know why? It's like they're like their version of Hollywood. It's like forced. I think it's overrated.
I think they try to make too many cheesy things.
Too many yes. Those soap operas, bro. Yo,
Yeah.
I hate it when they do the zoom in. Like, stop.
I really hate how much cheesy things that they created, but not enough of
Authentic shit.
yeah,
right?
authentic and docu things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Things
See?
that you can learn from. So that's why I
sure.
said overrated.
I say underrated. Well, I grew up with it, and there's this one dude, like he always come on. He was the animal guy. He had like the hat. I don't know.
Oh, Kuya Ken. Kuya
him.
Ken.
Yes.
Yeah. I forgot what he would say like early in the morning, right? But he wouldn't say. He'd say good morning, but then something else. And then there was also what was it? They had Going Balloon.
Going Bolivia.
That
Yeah,
was
that's a
weird.
fire show.
All right, the next one, of course, the opposite. GMA.
I think
Overrated.
it's underrated, but like I don't like any of it. I don't
Yeah.
think the show's that good, but like
Nah, I say
it's
overrated.
underrated. Still.
I didn't like any of their shows.
Yeah.
I like the talk shows, like their game shows. I thought their game shows was good.
Eat Bulaga.
Yes, dude.
That-
That
oh,
was
yeah.
fire.
Yeah, Eat Bulaga is fun.
Yeah.
I think they might be overrated for me too.
Oh, okay, good.
They're not doing enough things.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. And like the soap operas, there's always something weird, something like out of the ordinary, man.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's one about like an angel, and like they were like fighting in a war, like in heaven, something like that.
Oh, I
They
think-
do that on ABS too, though.
No, that was something else though. Santo Nino.
No, but ABS does those stuff. Type of
Yeah,
stuff too.
I think that was Mulawin.
I can't remember the name. Oh, and ABS CBN had On the Wings of Love.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
I
anyway.
think that's a good soap
That is
opera.
a good show. Fair.
Only until before they left. I don't know. Did you guys watch it?
Oh yes, dude.
Yeah,
Yes,
come on.
yes,
On
dude.
the
Yes.
Wings of Love.
Yes. Oh my.
I think they should have ended it before they left San Francisco.
Yeah.
True.
They didn't should have. They shouldn't have continued it in the
Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright,
The drama was too much.
Yeah.
Man. Too
That's
much.
when it became super cheesy, and then they dialed back to doing what made it awesome. Then
in San Francisco
Yeah.
the last season. Yes.
All right, all right. Next one, Jollibee.
underrated, Only because I think they're on a path to global domination, starting to open stores from United States, Canada, Europe, and many parts of Asia. And Jollibee connects many Filipinos born in the Philippines and not born in the Philippines to be able to learn their culture.
Okay, when you put it like that, I think properly rated.
Yeah.
It's at a good place.
I'm sorry. I think it's overrated. It's my reason. Aside from the whole cultural aspect, I just don't think they have enough food that represents Filipinos. You know, because you have the Yum Burger, spaghetti. I'm like, what about like all the other things, like adobo, you know, all that stuff, right? Like, why can't you make that?
It's their fast food, though, I guess.
I know. Okay, the only thing I like is the spicy chicken. That's it. But yeah, overrated for me.
Yeah, they do the Filipino spaghetti. I think we're the only ones who do the sweet spaghetti.
All right, since we're talking about On the Wings of Love. No, On the Wings of Love. Sorry. That's the next. Sorry.
Love teams. Love teams.
Love teams. Sorry. Okay. Cat Neil.
Overrated.
I can't lie, they overrated. But they're cute though. Like they're cute.
That's fair.
They've made great movies, but like
it's always the same thing.
Nah, they did this one show where they were like werewolves or something. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
There's like a new show. It was like a few years ago. Like it was new. They were like werewolves and like vampires or something like that. I was like, this is bad.
Wow.
Yeah, they're overrated for me.
Yeah, and when all the love shows like they're on, it's like it's always them too. I'm like, change it up, man. Put Piolo Pascual again and someone else.
I kind of liked J. Dean though.
Oh, the next one. The next one.
J.
Dean, yeah.
Underrated.
I think they're really good. They're really good together. Both of them are great actors.
Dude,
too bad that they split up.
They created bangers too. Like
Pan-up,
bro.
Yeah, and each one of them made really good music too.
They did. They really did.
And apart from them acting really good together and producing shows that they look good together.
Yeah,
they help the community too.
Underrated for sure.
Oh, this is probably one of my favorite ones on the list. Vice Ganda.
Ooh, for me, it's really overrated.
Overrated for sure.
Fair, true.
But they're funny.
They are.
I don't know their pronouns.
I think it's she.
She.
I
think she is funny. I just don't like the type of comedy that she does.
Yeah.
Like
I felt that.
It's overly
slapstick.
It's too exaggerated.
Yeah.
So overrated. ASAP.
I think it's underrated for me.
I think it's underrated.
Underrated.
The talent that comes from ASAP is nuts, dude.
Yeah, it's really good.
And some of them get noticed too, right? Yeah. I swear, like some of the clips went viral, if I remember.
Yeah, ASAP are
heavily underrated too. All right, next one. Showtime.
Overrated.
I vaguely remember it.
That's crazy. It's always on in my house.
That
it's always on.
Now it's bad. Before it was good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say overrated too.
I think they tried to become Itbulaga.
They're too hard. They're way too hard.
They did for sure. I think they're overrated, but the one segment that I like was like, okay, this is super bad. It was like they're doing like this thing where like there's girls and they'll like wear like these like outfits, but it's like showing a lot of skin, and it's like to be sexy, and I'm like, yo, this is not.
Sexy babes.
Yeah, it's called Sexy Babes.
Sexy Babes, huh?
Yeah, and it's like, why? Why is that a segment? Like, come on. Yeah, that's when it hit me. Yeah, it's kind of stick to the Tanhalan stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that stuff.
Yeah, that one's good too.
All right, next one. Provinciano. Underrated. I love
I think
it.
it's overrated.
I think
Should have ended a long time ago.
it should have ended a long time, yeah.
Dude, that show started in 2015.
I like the Provinciano movie better than the series.
I like their first season. I don't know if you remember their first season, but it was really good.
Yeah,
I gotta rewatch it.
It dragged on too long, I think.
Bro, you know it's dragged on for too long when like, cause I teach Taekwondo, so I do tests for like kids. This kid that I was testing was born in the year of 2015, so he's like 6 years old. It's crazy to think.
Someone's born in
2015. And they're like a living person. Yeah. That's how you know the show's been going on too long, man. when a kid's like the same age as the show.
All right. This is the last one. MMK.
Ooh, underrated.
Underrated. Yeah, I think they make really good stories.
Oh, their story is amazing, bro.
Yeah.
And it's all real.
Yeah.
No, but I hate it when I was a kid when it's around Halloween.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, no,
Okay, yeah,
I don't want to know about the ghost, man.
Heck no.
You
That's
notice
bad.
with Halloween or what scares people, it's so much different in every culture.
Really?
Really?
I only realized it when I saw a Japanese horror film where they are scared of octopus.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, they're scared in like the bigger beings.
Yeah.
That's why they got like Godzilla
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And then here it's like here it's monsters.
Yeah.
In the Philippines, it's probably like more like spirits and ghosts.
Swangs.
Yeah, swans,
Yeah.
duendes. That's what scared
White lady.
scared people.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate the white lady.
But-
Bastard.
Here, they don't care about that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not even a thing for them.
Mhm.
Bro, ghosts are the costume is just tablecloth. It's not even an actual like thing. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Now, before we end it off, I just want to ask you.
What is the future for Vibeant?
Sorry.
Vibeant.
So for the future is I'm actually working on an NFT collection right now. Ultimately, what I want is to be able to be in the metaverse.
Ooh,
Yeah.
big.
Okay.
So my goal is to build this community. I want to be able to do different kind of Vibeant music and music and arts festival on different parts of the world.
Yeah.
And they will be able to access this festival through their NFTs. So people who have this NFT in Japan will be able to see a show that's produced in Japan. And ultimately, I want to bring all of them together in the metaverse. And that's when I'm going to do Vibeant Music and Arts Festival.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sick.
This guy's a visionary, bro. I didn't even think like that. I don't even.
No, he's way ahead of the game.
Yeah, I don't even know what the metaverse is. Right now.
That's my ultimate dream. Other than that, in terms of the Philcan or Filipino-Canadian musicians, we're actually starting this movement, what we call neo-OPM.
What's that?
So you know how traditional Filipino music is called OPM, which stands for original Filipino or original Pinoy music.
Oh, I thought whenever my mom put it on, I thought it's old Pinoy music.
Which
Old original. Yeah, same.
So,
Okay, now I know.
So now that I'm starting to meet these musicians, and I realized that they're not only in Canada doing Philcan music. I've already met people in Japan that they call themselves Philjap music.
Oh,
Oh,
hear
yeah,
that.
yeah.
The type of
okay.
music that they make is a mix of Japanese and English and Tagalog. And here in Canada, we do English and Tagalog music. And in Sweden, I also met people there who's making Swedish and English
that's
music.
going worldwide.
And
It is worldwide.
and now when you go to the Philippines, they wouldn't think or they wouldn't even accept it as a Filipino music or as OPM music. And so that's why this neo OPM movement that we're thinking of, or we're actually starting to push, because we're the Filipinos in the diaspora, and we have different kinds of culture. We tell different kinds of stories in the music, and it's something that's not relatable in the Philippines, but it's so relatable to the Filipinos in the diaspora. So that's
Dude.
why it's a neo OPM movement.
That's big, bro.
So you're trying to be like Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide.
Filipino
Mr.
version.
Worldwide.
Yeah, so the idea of that came from K-pop, actually.
Oh.
Are you guys fan of K-pop?
No, not really. Sorry.
There's traditional
It's good, it's
Korean
good.
music, but the modern Korean music is called K-pop, and that entails
Okay.
Korean people that were making music not only in Korea but outside of Korea too. And
I get it, yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
able to pretty much dominate the world.
We next.
Yeah,
P-pop.
Neo-PM.
Neopia.
No, that's sick though.
That's
Like
sick.
your dreams are like so high. So let me ask you, what advice do you have for like younger people, like people in general who are trying to like pursue their dreams or go the route you're going?
Yeah, so I think it's simple. You should start. You don't have to have fans or people supporting you. What's important is that it feels so good for you. And once you start doing this more and more, your tribe will come.
I like that. I like that. Your tribe will come.
Yeah,
That's nice.
and I'm sure that it's similar to you guys. Now you mentioned earlier that people are reaching out to you.
Yeah.
And that's your tribe.
Yeah,
Finding you.
it is.
Oh, I
That's our
did.
tribe.
I did.
You guys
bring-
are a part of our
remember
tribe.
I brought
Yeah,
this
you
up.
brought the
I brought this
podcast.
up last podcast. You'll find your tribe.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
it.
like-minded individuals right here. Found my tribe.
Yeah, and that's how I found you guys too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
true.
sir.
Oh, yeah. You did.
And yeah, so get started. Do really good with it. So I call that scaling the player
Oh,
or scaling the entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur, if we're talking about business, but it's not just that. It's scaling the player, which is you. You have to scale. You have to learn what it takes to be really good with podcasting, with making music, with martial arts and making films, with me being a digital marketer and a software engineer. And that's important to be able to level up.
dude.
Level up, and once you find your tribe, man, they'll start finding you, or you'll just find them on your way.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to start.
Great advice, man. But that's been episode 33, guys. With our special guest, Raphael, founder, creative director of Vibeant. Make sure you guys go check that out. Link in bio. And
Been your host, Dom.
Ken.
Peace out.